boys and girls. Today I'm going to teach you how to order numbers. Now we all know how to count. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and it just keeps going. And we all know how to do that. But now boys and girls, some things are bigger than other things and I'm going to show you what I mean. Here I have a small rugby ball. Do you see? It's a small little rugby ball. And I'm going to place that over here. Now there's a small rugby ball, but do you know that I have a bigger one? Let me fetch it. So boys and girls, this rugby ball is bigger than this rugby ball. Can you see that? If I put them next to each other, you can see that this one is smaller and this one is bigger. But do you know, I have even a bigger rugby ball than this one. So let's have a look. Right, boys and girls, this one is even bigger than this one. Can you see? Now have a look. Let's balance it. I've got 1, 2, 3 rugby balls. But each ball is bigger than the one before. So this rugby ball was a small rugby ball. Then I got a bit bigger. And now I've even got bigger. Now boys and girls, do you think I can find a bigger one? You're right, I can, yes. And boys and girls, here I have a bigger rugby ball. Do you see that it is bigger than that one? Now boys and girls, can you see how the rugby balls go from smallest all the way up to this great big one? Do you think I can do bigger than this? I can, you know. I have a very big rugby ball, boys and girls. So if you have a look, oh, it doesn't even fit onto the camera. So let's have a look. We've got the smallest rugby ball, and then we've got a bigger one, and a bigger one, and a bigger one, to the greatest, the biggest rugby ball that we've got. They're all rugby balls, but they're all different sizes. Just the same that these are all numbers, but they're all different sizes. So let's put our rugby balls away and I'm going to show you something else. Let's get them all away. Even the great big one. So now boys and girls, I have some Tic Tac boxes. So here's one Tic Tac box. Here's another Tic Tac box. Here's another Tic Tac box. Oops, it's been falling over. Here's another Tic Tac box. And here's another Tic Tac box. Now boys and girls, these Tic Tac boxes are all Tic Tac boxes, but they're all different sizes. So sometimes we need to put them in an order. We can start with the biggest one, or we can start with the smallest one. So let's have a look here. Let's find the biggest Tic Tac box. So this one here looks very much like the biggest Tic Tac box. Do you agree, boys and girls? Is this the biggest Tic Tac box of all of these? Yes, I think you're right. So we're going to start with this one, the biggest Tic Tac box. Then we've got to look at these. So let's bring these together here. So boys and girls, which one of these do you think is the biggest one of these? Okay, don't worry about this one now. Just look at these ones. Which one is the biggest? Is the yellow one, or the blue one, or the red one, or the orange one? Which one, boys and girls, do you think is the biggest? What if I put my hand here? Oh, that one's a small one. Up a little bit to this one. Up a little bit. And up a little bit more to this one. So, boys and girls, I'm going to say the orange one is our biggest one out of all of these. So I'm going to put it here. Okay, so we had the biggest one, then we went down and got a little bit smaller, okay? So let's have a look here. Now we're going to take these three and we're going to look at these three. Which one is the biggest Tic Tac box of these three? So let's have a look carefully now. Okay, which one's the biggest? Well, is it the little blue one? No. What about the little yellow one? Maybe? No. What about the red one? Yes, boys and girls, the red one is the next biggest one. So we're going to put that here. So we're making like steps, boys and girls. We're going down and down. Now let's have a look here. We have 2 left. Is this one the biggest one or is this one? Let's put them together and you can tell me. Is it the blue one or the yellow one? It's the yellow one. The yellow one is the biggest of these 2. So let's put it here. Now we've got another step. We're going down. Now, boys and girls, the last one left is this little one. Okay, this one is not very big at all. It's actually the smallest one. So if we have a look at the tic-tac boxes, we go from biggest to smallest. Do you see that, boys and girls? Now, I could also do them the other way around. I could start with the smallest one and I can do them and swap them around, just like we did with our rugby balls. And if I do it this way, I go from the smallest to the biggest. Do you see, boys and girls? We can make them, order them by their size, but sometimes we can go from the biggest to the smallest, and sometimes we can go from the smallest to the biggest. It depends what the instruction says when we're trying to work it out. So, boys and girls, I'm going to show you how we do this with numbers. So I'm going to put these away, and I'm going to show you how much numbers are worth. So I'm going to take this board and I'm going to try and lift it up. Ooh, I hope it doesn't fall down, boys and girls. And I'm going to stand this board up nice and tight. There we go. And I'm actually going to take this off and have the numbers on the bottom. So, boys and girls, do you see I have all the numbers here? So, what number have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, boys and girls. Now, if you look carefully, these ones are down here, but this is up here. Why do you think that is? Is 1 the smallest number? Well, out of all these numbers, I think 1 is the smallest number. But let's have a look. This is one little block. So I'm going to put that one little block over there by number 1. So that is 1 block. Then, boys and girls, this is 2 blocks. It's a little bit bigger, do you see? Then we go on to 3 blocks. And we can keep going. 4 blocks. 5 blocks. 6 blocks. 7 blocks. Boys and girls, do you see that the higher the number, the bigger it's getting? So let's keep going. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What comes next? 8, boys and girls. Then I've got 9 blocks. And my last one is 10 blocks. Now, boys and girls, if you look very carefully, you can see that number 1 is the smallest number and number 10 is the biggest number. Now, if we stand them together, do you see that 10 is much bigger than 1? Can you see that? Now, when you work with numbers, these numbers here go in the order from smallest to biggest. If I had them the other way round, they would go from biggest to smallest. So, boys and girls, we're going to look at some numbers and we're going to put them in order. And the easiest way to know where a number goes without building blocks and counting counters is to look at our number line. The numbers at the beginning of the number line are the smallest numbers. On my number line, 0 is the smallest number I've got. After 0, we get a little bit bigger where we get 1. Then 2, then 3. So, boys and girls, if I said to you, is 5 bigger than 15? Have a think about it. 5 and 15. Which one do you think is going to be bigger? 15. Because 15 is growing with the number line. Do you see that? From smallest, we go to the biggest. If we have to order it from biggest to smallest, Then we have to start this side and we've got to go backwards that way, because then we're going to go from the biggest to the smallest number. So boys and girls, we're going to do some exercises now. I'm going to show you some numbers and you're going to help me to order them. Do you think you can do that? I think you can. Yes, I think you can. So let me just take these off. There we go. Okay, so now boys and girls, let's have a look at what I've got here. On this board, I have got 2 sets of numbers, okay? The first set we're going to work with is this top set over here, boys and girls. We're just going to look at these numbers at the top. Now, we've got to make this from biggest to smallest. So we're going to look at these numbers at the top here, and we're going to work out which number is the biggest, and then we're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller till the end. Okay, so in order to work this out, we've got to look at what numbers we have. We've got 6, 3, 12, 8, 16, and 1. So boys and girls, whenever we start, just like with reading, we always start at the left-hand side. And we start and we build our way up this way. So it's very important that when it tells you to look for the biggest number first, the biggest number is going to go on this side. So we're going to start off by taking our numbers. Let's have a look where we can put our numbers where you will see them very clearly, boys and girls. Okay, let's take this off. We're going to cover those numbers. There's a nice piece of wood that, and we're going to put these numbers on them. So we've got 6, and 3, and 12, and 8, and 16, and 1. Now, boys and girls, looking at those numbers, which number is the biggest? So when we're going for the biggest, we need to look at this side of the number line, because on this number line, 20 is the biggest number we have. So do we have 20? No. Next number is 19. Do we have 19? No. What about 18? Do we have 18? No. 17? No. What about 16? Do we have 16? Yes, boys and girls, we do. So 16 is going to go first, because that is the biggest number that we have, is 16. Now, we've got to look at the rest of our numbers. So, do we have 15? No. 14? No. 13? No. 12? Yes, boys and girls, we have 12. So 12 is then our next number. So now we've got to go back, to our number line. Do we have 11? No. 10? No. What about 9? Do we have 9? Do we have 8? Yes, we do. We do have 8. Here's 8. So then the next number is going to be 8. Now, let's have a look again. We've got 7. Do we have 7? No. 6? Yes, we do have 6. So we're going to have 6. After 6, before 6 comes 5. Do we have 5? No, before 5 comes 4. Do we have 4? Then we've got 3. Yes, we do. We've got 3. And before 3 comes 2. Don't have 2. And then 1. So that's our last one, boys and girls. So now I'm going to take this off. Or I'm going to move it. If we have a look here, very carefully, we now know that we go from biggest all the way to smallest. So our biggest number was 16. Then we went down to 12. Then we went down to 8. And down to 6. Down to 3. And down to 1. Just like a stair. It goes down like this. Now, boys and girls, that is one way from biggest to smallest. But sometimes we're asked to go from smallest to biggest. So now, boys and girls, I'm going to move the plank up here, and we're going to look at these numbers at the bottom here. Now we need to find the smallest number. When we do the smallest number, we start from that side of the number line. We start from 0. Do I have 0? No, I don't have 0. All right, so do I have 1? No, I don't have 1. What about 2? Yes, I do. I have number 2. So number 2 is my smallest number. So we're going to start with number 2. Then, do I have number 3? No. Do I have number 4? Yes, I do. Here's number 4. So then comes number 4. So I've got 2 and then 4. So let's have a look. After 4 comes 5. Do I have number 5? Yes, I do. Here's number 5. So 5 goes next. Now, which one of these is the smallest? We've got to keep going. After 5 comes 6. Oh, I don't have a 6. That's a 9. After 6 comes 7. No 7 there. 8. No? 9. Oh, yes. Remember, I had my 9. So let's pick up our 9. All right. Now we've got 11 and 15. I think some of you have worked it out already, but let's go through our number line. After 9 comes number 10. After 9 comes number 10. No 10. Then we have number 11. Here we've got number 11. And our last number, boys and girls, which I'm sure is on the number line, 15. We've got 15. So boys and girls, we went from smallest to biggest. Do you see that? We went 2, 4, 5, 9, 11, and then 15. So sometimes you can build a number line from biggest to smallest. It doesn't have to be in the right, all the numbers. It can be just some of them. And then other times, we can go from smallest to biggest. So boys and girls, I hope you learned something new today. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.